It's Open House Thursday on YourView. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brand. As always, I have the ladies with me. YK in the building.
Good
Our viewers love it when YK is on the building. You know, it's like, it's special Thursday. How you doing?
Today I'm very quiet.
Yeah.
I love the way you look. I so love the way you look. I love the way your cap matches your shirt.
Guess what? I bought this shirt some months ago, and the other day, about maybe a month or 3 weeks ago, I was passing on the road. You know those traders that sell hats? And I saw, I said, this is just like the shirt I have. Please bring it, bring it.
Are you for real?
5 or 3,000 or something. I quickly bought it.
Imagine. Thinking of matching what you have. I can't even remember what I have in the wardrobe. Then you are thinking of what to match. Imagine that. Cool.
Yeah.
How you doing, though, YK?
I'm fine, Charlie.
Yeah, YK, let me come to
I hope Nigeria doesn't happen to me.
This way.
This is well.
Don't scare us, YK, please. Mariam, how you doing,
Jare? All of us. Diesel, #1.
Yes, now. How you doing, Mariam?
I'm fine. I'm brand ambassador for Nigerian Conservation Foundation.
Yes, you are.
And I speak about vultures. But we need to talk about something else right now. And we're just trying to bring awareness to, our farmers, headers. They tend to use these chemical pesticides to protect their crops. But the thing is that those chemicals have a way of affecting, nature, the ecosystem, some of the animals that may feed around our farms and our crops. And it will affect, those things negatively. So we're just trying to ask people to stand for nature by using organic pesticides. They'll do exactly what your chemical pesticides do, but they don't have those negative effects, on the surrounding ecosystem. So
that's good.
Please use the organic pesticides. They're in the market. They're everywhere,
More expensive or cheaper?
It may be
more.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Sometimes it's just the lack of information.
It's
not necessarily, it's not necessarily the lack of...
Let me come to
but for other things.
But my daughter sent me this text yesterday saying vegetable oil causes Alzheimer's.
Okay, awesome.
Every day, all these people will just come with all new things. I beg, I've learned to just shop my ears on this.
All right.
It's true that they just said one day take oil, next day don't take oil at all, next day take meat, next day don't take meat again. I said, don't tell me anything, I don't want to hear. How are you doing, Jare Obiajulu?
Amazing. My daughter is 30.
Yeah! We got a teenager!
I woke up this morning, I prayed for her. She has a lot of, she gave me her list, bucket list of all the things I need to do for her. She's been asking for a phone. But with everything that's happening, I'm very scared.
Pure water.
Give her pure water phone. She will not listen now.
She doesn't.
She's eyeing this my own phone.
Your daughter is very responsible, though. I think she's somewhere else. I don't know. I think about it. Something.
Yes, I know, but I have to do a lot of monitoring. I'm asking myself, do I have the energy for that level of monitoring if I get
that's
to that
something
level?
worth talking
but
about.
happy birthday, Kosi Sochukugbo. You are my light. You are my shining star. You are amazing. I pray that God blesses you, keeps you, and you fulfill your purpose on it. And always know that your mama has got you. Lioness 100%. Mama has got you. 100%. I love you, girl.
Hey, I came home yesterday. Hey, Mama was, my Mama now. Grandma. The woman, she's 97 going to 98. She was just so tired. And I was like, what happened? This woman went to Ketu.
To do what?
She went to go and buy stuff. I don't even know. She just wanted to buy. I was saying I wanted fish. So my brother, my help, took her with the money. They took my around to Ketu. Now, she went to buy fish. She bought her own stuff, finished buying her own stuff. Now so that the fish is on the other side. You have to climb the overhead bridge.
Wow. 97.
And she climbed, came down, bought the fish,
and climbed
back, walked to the bus stop. She now came home. Like, what happened to her? I said, we're not get to me. What are you looking for? Like, all she do, we know her regular thing is just go down the street to do her hair. She has somebody that makes her clothes, her phone, those basic things.
I just love that.
She makes her hair at that age.
She does that. Every 2 weeks, she makes her hair.
Wow.
And she keeps, she goes around the house because when we do yam, she keeps the peel for her goods. So she dries it out, checks it, checks when it's done, she wraps it, keeps it. They're traveling very soon. She'll carry all her food for her goods. It's just so cute to see her. But when she now went to kids, I was like, this one is too much.
Oh, I love it.
But, it's fun having her. I don't know why I'm talking about her more these days, but it just keeps coming to mind. Just a great, fantastic.
We hope not to. not yet.
She's going to be 90. We'll do 100. We're going to do shutting down Egiti for 100.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to all of us will go to Momo's 100th birthday. All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, it's our Gisting Thursday. But first, we'll go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with The Nation. 2023 battle for tickets pits governors against senators. Picture here of Yahaya Bello collecting his ticket. So APC gets petition to disqualify Abiodun. INEC resumes issuance of 33,000 PVCs in Lagos. Oh, fantastic news. Ajaokuta Steel, Itakwe Iron Ore gets 853 million naira revival cash. Ministers insist on no resignation before primaries. Let's seek foreign aid to free abducted train passengers. ASU, 1.6 trillion naira yearly foreign tuition, enough to fix varsities. Okay, which stories are we taking here?
So the Senate has passed the bill to amend the Terrorism Prevention Act of 2013 and to prohibit the payment of ransom to kidnappers. Yesterday as well, a former military administrator of Old Kaduna State, Colonel Abubakar Dangiwa, is also calling on the international community, the Red Cross, ICRC, to assist in negotiations and rescue the release of the captives. They are also asking that they help with funds, to be able to rescue these captives. Now, on the passage of the bill, one of the reasons they want to pass this is to outlaw the payment of ransom to abductors and kidnappers and also terrorists for the release of persons that have been taken and confined or prisoned or kidnapped. And they're saying that this is going to help discourage the spate of kidnappings happening all around the country. And also, it's going to help, stop the laundering of money, because when they pay this ransom, money moves from bank to bank, and they are trying to find all those banks and all those organizations that are complicit in laundering money. So, but when we have this bill and it's passed into law, it will help fight terrorism, basically.
So I wanted to take the APC disqualify Abiodun. They get a petition to disqualify Dapo Abiodun. The petition was sent on the 12th of April and alleges that the governor was convicted for an offense in 1986. They say he was convicted that he also bears Sean Michael Davis, and he was convicted under that name. But his lawyers have replied, written a letter to the APC saying this is unfounded, it's just spurious, and that they should ignore the petition, and that the Supreme Court had thrown out the case in 2000 because they brought it up in 2015 and 2019, and they should disqualify it.
I have this story. So this young man named Bello Ahmed, he's 25. He lives in Dubai, and he's married with 2 children, but then he has a girlfriend here in Nigeria, and he moved to Nigeria, relocated to Nigeria, got a house, and, the girlfriend comes to visit. And one day he decided to, in collaboration with his friends, to kidnap her. So his friends came into the house while she was sitting down, that's his house, kidnapped the girl and him together. Unluckily for him, her uncle works with the police. So the moment the kidnap happened, they started looking for them, and then they found them. Why did you do it? Why did you do it? He says the girlfriend has been putting a lot of pressure for him to marry her, and he could not raise the money to marry her. So he decided to kidnap her so that when they paid the ransom, he would now use the money
to marry her.
Interesting.
All right, so 2 key sectors got a booster yesterday at the FEC meeting. The steel ministry got for the Atakwe iron ore, and Ajaokuta Steel will be 853 million will be invested in to revitalize those 2 companies. And then we have the Ministry of Power also got 27 million naira, and I think the 10-point-something million naira also for the power sector. It's also in the bid to see what they can do to revitalize both sectors. Those are two key important sectors that Nigerians are really clamoring for, the power and steel. Moving on quickly now to the Punch Electoral Act. More commissioners stepped down as Buhari's ministers refused to go. Lagos traders protest shooting of a businessman, and a killer cop celebrator disappear. Fire guards TB Joshua's property destroys tomb shelter. Ondo youths chase lawmaker over poor performance. Politician blames opposition. Apprentice flees to Seme as Lagos wife gives birth to quadruplets. 10 die in Lagos-Ibadan road crashes. FRSC blames speeding. 2 killed in Oyo NURTW PMS clash. Police begin probe. Drug test. NMA backs NDLA. NBA demands legal backing. EFCC extradites fraud suspect to U.S. over the $148,000 scam. And Senate prohibits ransom payments. Abductees' families seek talks with bandits. All right.
I wanted to take the shooting of the trader. Well, they had all gathered at a party to celebrate the birthday of somebody called Ifeanyi, also known as Obama. They were all jollofing and dancing. Then the deceased, Odunika and
Odinaka.
And what's the second name? Obeyeshi.
Obeyeshi, yes.
Did I get it?
Yes.
Hey, thank God. They were spraying the guy when the policeman, Hussein, just shot in the air, but because he was drunk, he said he was already drunk, the bullets met Odinaka and Obeyeshi, and they slumped. They died shortly after. Hussein and Obama ran away, and they are looking for them. The police have said Obama should come out. Hussein, they have said he will soon turn himself in. The traders are now protesting that they want justice,
right,
or because the Obeyeshi has kids, a wife and kids, and the breadwinner. A very, very sad story. Right. Very, very sad story.
Before we move on quickly, let me just correct what I said earlier concerning the what the FEC approved. It was actually $27 million and 10 billion naira for the power sector, not $1 million naira. Okay.
So an apprentice tire dealer, his name is Kise Abdullahi, soliciting for support. Abdullahi. Soliciting for support of the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and other philanthropists because his wife just recently gave birth to a quadruplet. So he said when they did the test, the scan, they were suspecting that it was going to be twins. He's just learning how to fix tires. He doesn't have any other thing. And when the babies were born, he had to run away. His friends found him at Semeboard at 9 p.m. and was now asking him what he was doing there. So he told him he doesn't have the money to take care of his family, and he's deciding to run. So the friend convinced him to go back home, that he's going to do whatever he can to help him. And so far, his friend has been the one supporting him. So, but the rooms they are staying in can no longer contain them with the four children. Babies. The babies are still in the medical center. They are in the incubators. They've spent he says he's owing seriously. He's owing the federal government, the federal hospitals seriously, and he needs to be able to pay those bills. So he's appealing for help for the state government to do something so that he can raise his quadruplets. The Lagos State.
Lagos, very sad.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back,
it's a joyful thing, but also sad that he can't afford to
take care of them.
Take care of him.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Mariam, you had a story, yeah?
Yeah, so NDLA is seeking to make drug tests for politicians seeking office mandatory. The chairman of NDLA has said that this is something that he has long advocated for. He's written to the APC. He's also going to write to the PDP because it's important that these our politicians are going on, you know, to head our country. We need to make sure that they are not using our money to feed a cocaine habit, or, you know, that when they are on these drugs, that, you know, they would not be thinking properly to do their job. The Nigerian Medical Association also agrees with him. He says that the association say that this is something that even for doctors, they do like fitness tests for them. So it's important that politicians who are handling important government business should be, you know, tested. But the Nigerian Bar Association is saying that, first of all, it's not in the Constitution, so it's not law, that if NDLA wants to make it serious, they should try and, you know, raise a bill to make sure that, you know, it has legal backing. That's the only way that it can be used. But there's nothing in the Constitution that would force any politician right now to take a drug test.
I think it's a brilliant idea.
To changing the Constitution, these are some of the things that they will be looking to add.
All right, the major headline.
Brilliant idea. They should also do integrity tests.
Yes.
They should do lie detector.
Let's take the major headline. Electoral Act. So, more commissioners across the country are still resigning as a result of the new Electoral Act, Section 84, Subsection 12. Quite a number, about 13 commissioners from Sokoto State, and I think it says here about 60 across the entire 36 states. We have commissioners from Kano State. We have commissioners from Kwara State, all are resigning. The Lagos State governor himself has recently asked members of his cabinet to also resign if they intend to run for office. So, however, interestingly, the Minister of State for Education, this is the ministry that is handling this issue of ASU. Remember, he's also running for president. That's Chukwuemeka Nwajueba is insisting that he would not resign until 30 days to elections next year. And this is because he was referencing the fact that from the governor of Ekiti State also was a minister up until 30 days before he resigned, and then he became governor. So he's still going to stand by the current constitution. He's waiting also for the review that is waiting for the court review. I think the hearing might be sometime in May to let us know indeed if they're going to uphold the subsection 18, section 18, subsection 12, or they're going to overthrow that.
Okay, let me just add to that, because the next story would have been is a part of this story, and it's saying that the APC, the National Working Committee of the party, has released new guidelines mandating that political appointees who want to participate in the coming election should resign. But of course, just as you read, those very two, Chris Ngige and Nwajueba, are saying that they are not going to resign, because for Chris Ngige, he's saying that for him, he's standing on the 1999 Constitution. But a source who did not want to be named says that they will be disqualified, and this disqualification will also pave way for, for them to be able to even come up with a consensus candidate that can stand toe-to-toe with PDP candidates.
Yeah, but there was no time frame given. So when you make
there's a time frame. The time frame 30 days for the election.
That's what somebody is standing on.
Primaries right now.
No, APC, the time frame APC gave was 72 hours, but I think it's now elapsed to 24 hours.
Okay,
that they will disqualify them if they do not resign.
Yes. Anyway. No, did they give them time to resign before the primaries?
They have time.
Yes. They have 72 hours.
No, it wasn't. Yes, for now, I think if you have not resigned by Tuesday, you may be facing disqualification.
Yeah. But just to add
if they paid the 100 million, would they return the money?
They were returning it.
How many people? We only heard of one person that paid the 100 million.
That's Bellu, but
yes.
In their convention, they were returning monies that we pay, so maybe they might adopt that same thing. But just to add to what we've said so far, the NLC is also complaining. They did a press briefing saying that they were criticizing that these two key people in Ngige and Chukwuemeka Nwajueba they're supposed to be the ones negotiating to us, but they're too busy talking politics. And so it's disheartening that our children are at home and you're only focused on politics. Moving on very quickly now to Daily Sun. APC set to disqualify aspirants over resignation. We just took that story. Kidnapping, Senate strengthens Terrorism Act, makes ransom payments grievous offense. Afenifere slams Buhari on State of the Nation. 2023. Alake backs Oshibajo as Fayemi insist and intensify on lobbying. Supporters storm APC Secretariat as Yahaya Bello picks nomination forms. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Afenifere.
Yes.
So the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization, Afenifere, is calling out the president, saying that what we need right now is to set up a national unity government ahead of the 2023 elections that will help tackle the issues of insecurity and the problems we have in our country. And that will also give birth to a midwife, a new democratic government. And so they said that the government of Muhammadu Buhari has been incapable of tackling the worsening insecurity that's threatening the country. And this is the time that we need to start looking at community policing and looking at restructuring, because if you take a look at what Amoteco has been doing so far, they have been successful to a very large extent, working hand in hand with our security agencies. And so every region needs to begin to build, especially for those states that are ready, they need to begin to build community policing to help solve the issues of insecurity. And restructuring, we must look at it before we rush into these, widely acclaimed 2023 elections.
Any other story, son? Let's move on quickly now to the Vanguard. Electoral acting Ngige Nwajuba opt not to resign. NLC fumes over federal government's silence on prolonged varsity workers' strike. Kidnapping Afenifere Sands faults Senate's criminalization of ransom payment. Nigeria's startup bill. Senators pledge quick passage as youth protest as National Assembly. Hush puppy. Malami's application stalls hearing in Abba Kyari's extradition to the U.S. NDLA asks political parties to make drug tests part of screening for aspirants. Angry youths chase away Ondo majority leader over poor performance. And thousands storm APC secretariat as Governor Bello picks up his nomination form. And why we want government of national unity, says Afenifere. Send a story it's not taken. How I reconciled with Alafi before he died, says Ladoja. Which story?
So,
taking most of the stories already.
Some angry youths in Owo town in Ondo State have chased away a majority leader of the State House of Assembly. When he came, on his re-election campaign, the youths were very upset, and according to them, he had not shown, he had not done his job, and they did not think that he had the audacity to be coming back for re-election. But when the majority leader himself was spoken to, he said, these people are actually not my, they're one of my, he has like 3 constituencies under him. I say this is just one of them, but these particular youths were paid by an opposing party to create a fracas on the day that he appeared there, that all the other people in his constituency do not even agree with what had happened. So these are 2 sides of the story. I think that we would hear more about it, and if the people actually think he's done his job or he hasn't.
Okay, there was another story that caught my attention, the fact that the coalition of youth groups yesterday stormed the National Assembly to demand the speedy passage of the Nigeria Startup Bill. Now, this bill has passed the 2nd reading, and they were saying that it will create a pathway to help young people be able to have something they can create and be useful. So they had actually rallied all the way to the National Assembly to ensure that there was no delay in the passage of this bill. And, that's just the story for now, but we hope indeed that this bill gets passed, because it will indeed help a lot of Nigerian startups to be able to have a very good foundation for their businesses as they hope to contribute to the economy of Nigeria. Say a lot of young people believe that this current administration, with executive and legislature, has done much for young people in the country, and they're also hoping that with this bill passed, it will help to encourage young people to go into businesses. Okay, moving on very quickly now to Tribune. We don't have much time. Let's find a story we have not taken. Senate passes law to prohibit payments of ransom kidnappers. I think we talked about that. APC presidential race. Jonathan can run, but I'm sure I'll pick the ticket, says Yahaya Bello. Killer policeman at Lagos birthday party identified as police hunt for celebrant. NDLA wants political parties to screen aspirants for drugs. Train attack, abducted female passenger gives birth in terrorist den. A picture here of quite a number of publishers sitting together at the NTN Media Innovation Program. Okay.
Yeah.
Any story?
Which one do you want to take? The female passenger, she's one of the pregnant. There were 2. One has given birth. She was 8 months pregnant, and the family knew because the terrorists called her. The kidnappers called her to say, "Look, your daughter has given birth." They didn't tell them whether it's a boy or a girl. They just said she's okay. They brought in a doctor, and that's all.
And then also, the federal government is telling us that COVID is not gone. It has slowed down, yes, but it's not gone. And that if we do not continue to take preventive measures, we'll find ourselves just like China, who had to go back into lockdown for many of their cities and towns. So it's still important that we follow those guidelines.
So Yahya Bello has picked up his nomination form, and he was telling people that yes, he's the hope of the Nigerian youth. This is you can tell some people, when they have a lot of energy. He said that I am here for the entire Black African race across the world. That's the hope that we're coming on board with, and to unite and secure and to put the country and our people on the path of progress and prosperity. Sure. He said, I know Dr. Goodluck Jonathan is running, but that's the beauty of democracy. We can all run.
Has he said he's running? Confirmed?
No, that's what he said. He said that when he was asked about Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, he said, Dr. Goodluck is going to join the race. That's what he said. Wow. That's the beauty of democracy. Anybody can push for or vie for the office, but he believes that he'll be the one to end up picking up.
Because Ayade yesterday gave a press conference saying he wouldn't
step down.
He would step down if Jonathan runs.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. It's getting more and more interesting.
Yeah. When are you picking up your form?
After you pick up your form.
I know, me, I'm not picking up form.
I'm not picking up. I'm waiting for you.
I'm already looking for 100 million for 12
years. Yes, now once you pick up, I'm right behind you. I'll pick up after you.
Look for me.
You want to go?
No, not to pick up form, to give it to me now, to use in my life.
Oh, we need somebody.
They're all running.
Give me 100 million.
I'm telling you.
You will not even see my
sow it into my life.
You can pay
100 million
at the party.
Which party? I said you will not see my big lights.
No, we need a serious minded.
I will not enjoy my life.
That's selfish.
You better go buy a nomination form.
They will not pay me.
Let's bring me right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So it's Thursday, and we like to monitor what Nigerians are talking about, especially when it comes to family, relationships, and lifestyle. So as usual, we mind our business, and then we were woken up yesterday morning to this story about Yul Edochie, and the whole of Nigeria is talking about it. But until the ladies talk about it, you ain't heard nothing yet. Yeah. So let me let Mariam establish the story, and then we can start to take it from there. Go ahead, Mariam.
Okay, so the news was that yesterday, Yul Edochie had put on his social media a picture of his new born child, I think it's a son, from a woman who he calls his second wife. And he says, this is my son, given birth by my second wife. I love him as much as I love my other kids. So many people know that he's married to someone else, and they have 4 children together, and they have been married 17 years. And a lot of people went back to posts that he's made about her, where he had said, this woman has stood by me. We first met when I had nothing, or I didn't have stable income, but she was willing to stay with me. And so people are questioning, is this how to repay her loyalty? Other people dug up tweets or messages by his father, Peter Edochie, saying that a man who marries 2 wives is a foolish person. It does not make you a man, it makes you foolish. So that is really the...
And I saw a message on Linda Ikeji this morning. Somebody was saying, I don't know the guy's name, but saying that all the ladies in the society who are condemning polygamy online, who then are the ladies dating married men offline? Spirits, I guess. The Nigerian Pharisees and Sadducees are deadlier than those ones in the scriptures and pretenders and liars everywhere.
The guy is right.
So what he's saying that, so the conversation really is about polygamy.
Yeah.
And the question is, should we begin to accept polygamy, or should we continually frown against polygamy, especially because when 2 people are committed to each other, and they promise and they vow to stay together through thick and thin, and they're committed to one another. So are we now disrupting that vow to say, no, let us accommodate somebody else? Because, hey, is that the new thing? Because different angles have come out. I know I heard a few people saying that there's nothing in the Bible. The Bible doesn't stop you from polygamy. I said, I don't know which Bible you are reading. The Bible I'm reading, I don't know.
So where did you read your own?
Don't even start that because you don't read Bible.
Solomon, how many wives did King Solomon?
That's the only one they all know, King Solomon.
All of them.
Anyway,
David, they all have plenty wives now.
We are in the grace, dispensation grace. That was the law. That was Old Testament. Talking about this dispensation of grace is a different conversation. Anyway, that's not our focus. The focus is polygamy. Should we or should we not? We are all committed here. We all have committed relationships here. Is this something we can think of? This is a woman, 17 years. We're not yet 17 years, right? Yeah. So 17 years, this guy is saying somebody else. And you know something that happened, Mariam? Remember when we were talking about Mercy Aigbe?
Yes.
I think, was it Nima that said it? That even if you're going to be a second wife and you're a celebrity out there, out of respect for the first wife, keep it on the down low. The flashiness, because you're a star. People know you, everybody wants to know what's going on in your life, is what can even make it, adds fuel to this conversation out there. So maybe if Pete had kept this quiet, Yul. If Yul had kept it private and not rub it in the face of everybody, that let's say, you know, I have this new beautiful baby boy, maybe things would be different. Do you think?
Mariah, okay, you wanted to go?
Yes. So for me, I know you're saying if it's about polygamy. I don't think, the first thing that comes across, not whether it's about polygamy, is the fact that is this the agreed arrangement between you and your wife?
Yes.
Because we know that some people are aware before, because of their culture, because of their religion, that this is something that they would expect. And there's some people, because of their religion, expect monogamy. They're not saying that things may not happen, you may not cheat, but you would not boldly take on a second wife. So when someone says they've taken on a second wife, did you do it in agreement with this first wife? When you people were signing the dotted lines, did you say that this is a possibility for me?
Right.
So let people just don't make it first about polygamy. Because for me, I feel that it was a way to sort of, you know, help, you know, put the thing so that it doesn't look too bad. That is what I feel, because there were comments that she made underneath his post. One of it was, God will judge you both. You know, so this is definitely a woman who feels scorned, feels hurt. That means this conversation may not have happened before the marriage with her. This is something that may have just happened to her, and now she's trying to find ways to deal with it. So that thing we need, people always say, well, at least he's married to the person, but did adultery and fornication happen before the marriage happened? And was cheating happening before that marriage happened? And there's a human being on that other side of that marriage that will be feeling hurt. It's easy to say, when you're the one that is breaking the marriage contract, that it's better to be married than to have a side chick. Is it better for you, or is it better for the woman at home that is expecting that you're keeping these marriage vows, and we're expecting that it's monogamous, you know, between us?
Even the religions are accepted. Nima had told us that the husband, you have to let the first wife know that I want to bring in a second wife. So respectfully, the way to do it respectfully, where you call the first wife, say, I want to bring a second wife.
Done it.
That's for her to say that God will judge you both, it means that she wasn't in the know of this.
She may have been in the agreement of it.
She probably was in the know, but did not agree.
Yeah.
You know, and she's still hurt. And you can't say she shouldn't be hurt. But that he didn't tell her, I don't believe he would come out and put his new baby on the page on Twitter or whatever, and she without wouldn't know.
Her knowledge.
Yeah. So, you know, when this gist broke, the first things we heard was someone had, you know, one of these bloggers have reached out to him to blackmail. There's this particular blogger that carries the news of celebrities, and then she had posted on her page that I have gist for you people concerning so and so person. And, you know, the fans were excited and waiting for this gist, only for the owner of the gist to break it first. Like, I don't break them. Or yeah, go and post whatever you want to post. So it could be that he wanted to keep it private, but because it's been known already, just to manage the damage, he decided to come out first and present it. That's even okay. But when it comes to polygamy, I wouldn't say, you know, for some religions that is spelled out, there are processes to how it's done. But Christianity, when it comes to polygamy, is not spelled out. So you can't say present, because when we're signing that agreement, we did not agree we're bringing somebody else. We did not have that discussion. As a Christian, you don't have that sort of discussion. It's me and you for better, for worse. So you would not now know if there's a dating before, and definitely there will be a dating before. There will be a cheating before. There will be a side chickism before you now bring that person out. So, but for those religions that and traditions that, you know, this is expected, they would have an upfront conversation. They are not hiding it. Now, the question is, this guy claims to be a Christian, and now he's comfortable enough to present a second wife. And people are asking, should we tell ourselves the truth as Africans that this monogamy is not working? Because the people who introduced monogamy to us have found a way to even be accepting same-sex. It's not even working for them. So they've diverted their attention. They are going different places just to satisfy themselves. Shouldn't they leave us, Africans, to face the one that has worked for our forefathers for a very long time and is working for us, which is polygamy? Because the truth is, those women, like you mentioned in your introduction, that go behind to chase or follow these men, they are people in your society, there are people in your churches, they are everywhere. And there were posts highlighting the fact that women are now more comfortable dating married men. So as we're sitting here now forming, we have our man looking at us. There are women who would do anything to collect Mr. Brown.
What's Mr. Brown?
I'm just saying. Why
did you use the
Why did you use your own as example?
You can't use Mr. Brown.
This kind of conversation you use.
You can't use Mr. Brown. You can't use Mr. Brown. She's starting Mr. Ugo now. Starting Mr. Ugo.
No, hold on. I said you were here 3 or 4 days, and I was coming like this.
No, come like this. Start like this. Start like this. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
You start with your own first. Don't call my name.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter of Yul Edochie that Nigerians are talking about. You can call us and join the conversation on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. So, let you finish.
Yes, let me quickly finish. So I was saying that we need to really start asking ourselves, what conversations do we begin to have with our spouses? Peradventure, this sort of thing happens. Are you going to categorically say that if you get a side chick tomorrow and she happens to get pregnant, just marry her and bring her home? Or, I don't want to see her, sort it out and don't let me know. We need to start having those sort of conversations. Because like I was saying earlier, young girls now prefer to date married men. And I was giving examples. Our husbands here are blokes. Like, in fact, I heard somebody saying the other day that your husband will be a very good zaddy. You know what a zaddy is? Young man with the white beer and everything. And I had that conversation. So
whose husband? Mariah's husband?
No, mine has white beards already. Yes. And they're already describing him as a zaddy. And they also, those young girls also mentioned that they prefer the married men because they take better care of them. They are more responsible. They're already taking care of somebody in the house. They will, use that care for them as well, compared to the young ones who are not, their heads are not even in the same space. So there's a huge market that they are waiting. If you sleep, they will collect. They're hanging there. That's the truth. So what conversations do we now have? If it's your deal breaker that if another person comes, I'm a Christian, we have said the promise is between both of us. If somebody else comes in, I'm going to take a walk. Or it's not my deal breaker. I don't really care. Either you keep her outside or you bring her home. We need to decide.
Okay, let me take this. This is an interesting angle that we're going into. Let me take Yakub. Are you there, Yakub?
Yakub is here already.
Yakub, you're live.
Yeah, good morning.
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 Good morning. And then
morning.
Miriam, good morning.
Good morning.
No one would take Mr. Brown.
I was kidding, no.
She was just playing.
But the truth is this. I think Sister Yeni is always straightforward to point every time. I remember some time ago, she made mention that whether we like it or not, which is the truth, whether we like it or not, naturally men are polygamous. Naturally. She said it that time. And then I totally agree with that 100%.
Where is they getting this?
Until we come to realize that we should not lie to ourselves. We married man, we know what we are facing.
What are you facing? What are you facing? What are you facing?
All
him talk now.
The lady in the town now, they don't want to care whether you married or you get 2 wives or 3 wives.
Yeah.
This as much as they see you that you have the liquid, and then they see you that you can be able to provide for them. They don't care who is in your house.
Yes.
In fact, they will be able to tell you that if the person cannot accommodate them, she can take a leave and walk out. Do you get it? So, you see, this word of for better, for worse, I said it last time. I don't like that word. For better, for worse. You see, that word, I think the Christianity life should take that word out of it.
All right, thank you very much, Yakub. What happened? Thank you very much,
Yakub doesn't like better or worse, but if it's worse when the man is sick, you will not mind.
So for better, for worse, it's okay. As long as you can stay with the man if he brings in another wife. That's the worst that they are talking about.
When the man is sick.
Now, are we allowed to also marry somebody else?
Come on. What
It's a question now. Listen.
Is polyandry practiced here?
We're asking a question. We're having a conversation. Because we're saying that right now it's so difficult. There are some men out there that are looking for good women.
Yes.
Morayo,
and these women are equally good.
Morayo, listen.
They're all good women.
The societies
Morayo,
where
start
it
like
is
this.
practiced.
Do like this.
There are societies where it is practiced.
Yes.
When you know that you want to marry another man, go to those societies. In this society, it is not practiced.
What is practiced?
Polygamy is practiced in this society.
Polyandry.
See? But I know...
What? Did you say?
I said polyandry is not.
It's not.
Yeah.
So please, don't even bring that level.
We can bring it so that we're all see...
Go to the Senate. Go to the Senate and go and pass that bill. Okay. Ask them to pass that bill for you. Okay. For polyandry to
it's worth
we're working hard against child marriage right now, so we'll take one step at a time. But let us talk about this culture, this African culture that we like to carry on our heads.
Yes, please.
This is our culture.
27 wives. Fela had 27 wives.
Yes, this is our culture. This is how God made us. Especially when he was making Africans, he said, put in 2 drops of polygamy, please. Only Africans have it. But let me blow your mind. It's not only about Africans. The world.
I said men.
No, I'm not talking to just you. Just to Nigerians in general. And, you know, BC had mentioned something about our culture, and maybe we should start questioning. Good. But the thing is, this men wanting more than one woman is not an African thing. It's a world thing. It's a man thing. Yeah. Men have always wanted more than one woman. But with civilization, with civilization, you know, the times evolve. People are changing. People are looking for people are looking for ways in which to, you know, better the lives of people. So women have always had the short end of the stick when it comes to things like this. And civilization has always tried to find ways in which to make it easier for women. Because in marriage, a woman is always the one that would have the issues. Yes. She carries the burdens of whatever failures that marriage comes with. So before now, Oyinbo people, they will tell you, in fact, I was reading, they say in ancient Rome, men would say, wives are for our lineage to make sure that our lineage never dies. Concubines are there so that we can have constant attention when we need it. Mistresses are for our pleasure. Men have always wanted more women. But if civilization, what good civilization does is it tries to protect us women. That when you find yourself in situations like that, you don't totally lose out. So like with a Yul Edochie now, people will be saying, if the woman does not like it, she should leave. But she should leave with what? And should leave to what? Oyinbo people will say, I'm leaving 50-50. Nigerians can take these decisions. They know that there's no 50-50.
Simple.
So it's easy to make that decision.
Nothing at stake.
Yes. There's no cost to when you break a contract. Yeah. It's a contract and you're broken it. There's no cost. So the woman now would now have to fend for herself. So you now find bitter women in marriages because they realize I've put in 17 years of all my hard work and everything. May not be tangible enough for me to put it down in financial terms, but I've given everything in this marriage. Yeah. And now you're telling me because he's done it, I should leave. I will not leave. I'll wait here and hope that my children will somehow clean my
pause for a second. I have a call from Ghana. I'll come to you to YK. Godspar, are you there? Hello, Godspar, you're live. Go ahead, please. You see, what you said is extremely important because we can laugh about this, but this is the reality.
Yeah, I was going to go there. I was going to reply her. What I would suggest women do now is, before you marry, prenup.
Yeah.
If you have a prenup, he cannot break the contract.
Yes.
Say, look,
and if he breaks it, he knows the consequences.
It must cost him something.
Because women don't protect themselves. So you use this as an example. Start to protect yourselves. Because you know that your man might... Is it a deal breaker? My man goes with another woman. Look, the other day, so one young girl posted on her
page,
WhatsApp status, and she put my partner's picture there, my dream man. So,
my what?
My dream man.
Oh, man.
So,
wow.
and she had a boyfriend, though, but she was posting about my own partner. So, she said, so I sent it to her own boyfriend. Come, look at you. So that one thought I was annoyed and sent it to her. So she now sent me a text. And I said, no, you are free to have whoever is your dream man. I'm not annoyed at all. And truthfully, I wasn't annoyed at all. In fact, I was more flattered that, so this young, she was a young babe. So you know that they are going to have people that like them. Now, protect yourself. In my own situation, there's nothing to protect. But women like you, well, not you,
why not her? She's married.
She's a young babe now.
Is she old?
Her husband is older than her. Where now?
Meaning that?
He's not going anywhere.
So,
Is that
I'm covered. There's no guarantees.
There's no guarantees.
No guarantees.
Even older. So I think, before we go, we have to go on a break. But I
Okay.
think one thing is very crucial. I think what Mariam just said. We can laugh about it, but the truth is, you cannot put 17 years in a marriage and somebody tells you, oh, I just have a new wife. It doesn't happen like that. What do we do to make sure that before you decide to have a new wife or have a new side chick, you must know the consequences of your action? I know that it's going to cost you because he has such a beautiful family. You think, by the time he posted last year, was it this Christmas time? With the entire family, I think they had the pajamas.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, such a beautiful family. Who knew?
Picture perfect, doll.
Who knew that in the next few months we're going to hear the... So you can't just throw that away.
This is what I'm saying. My mother, for instance, she was married to my father. My father started having girlfriends very, very early on. Then one day he woke up and said, I want to marry 27 wives.
Wow.
Now, she was upset, but it wasn't a deal breaker for her. But what happened? When she died, 3/4 of his property went to her. That was her staying power.
Yes.
So now decide on what you want. Decide. So, and my mother that doesn't care for Kini, what happened? Her own children collected. So that was a sacrifice she made.
Yes.
But she loved my father. She loved my father to distraction. Plenty women or no plenty women. My father actually, I've heard my father make statement that after he married his 27 wives and they were unfaithful, he made this statement, I don't know what is wrong with them. I'm faithful to them.
To all 27, I love that.
I mean, so when you tell people that I said I'm faithful to my 27 wives, say, before God.
Well, you see, so I think that's what our message should be today. If he's going to leave, if he's going to bring somebody else, I must know what belongs to me. Because I know somebody actually that her husband, she was actually the second wife. So he had married somebody else and he had grown-up kids. And then he left the family. But he left the first wife with a property, a nice property, and the kids were already grown, they've gone out to move. So she was like the small wife that came in, and she married. And she was able to own her own. Now, the man has married somebody else on top of her. So he left her. She has a beautiful house in a nice place in Lagos State. And she has her own children. Her kids are not yet grown. He's still paying school fees and everything. But she's content, even though he has moved on. She has something that is worthwhile. She has stores on the island. She has her own home. She has cars. Her children are going to one of the best schools in Lagos State. So she feels like, I've been compensated for I think she's used about 15 years or so in that marriage. Before the man moves on somewhere else. So we're saying that don't just walk away for the sake of walking away or bring in somebody else for the sake of it. There must be a cost to it.
So the idea is that women need to sit up
and protect themselves.
Protect themselves. That's
Let me go on a break and I'll come to you. Now I want to give time to visit to this. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this issue of Yul Edochie and this, the fact that he brought a new wife to his marriage of 17 years. And people are talking, is it time for us to begin to accept this issue of polygamy? And you're going to say something also.
This issue of polygamy will not end till women begin to really love and support themselves. Even the Bible that we claimed that, talked about monogamy says, in that day, and, this was in the Old Testament, it was talking about the New Testament. In that day, women will take hold of one man. 7 women will take hold of one man and say, we will eat our own food and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. That's the reality. This is that day. This is what we're seeing. Women all over the world just want to have that marriage, just want to have that certificate, just want to bear that missus. And most of them are ready to do whatever it takes, whoever they are willing to pull down. So the only way that we can begin to, try and make this thing a bit more mild is when women begin to support one another. So let me tell you, a man comes to you and says, I like you, I want to date you. And you find out that that man is married. You say no, because you are already taken. But because of the fact that the population of women are more than that of the men, and the society has made it seem like any woman who is not married cannot be respected, that women need their self-esteem from that marriage. They will latch on, whether there's somebody there before them or not. And it's a lose-lose for women. So the idea is, begin to have some real conversations and begin to find a way to protect yourself. Peradventure it happens. So I've seen men and women who be married for 30-something years. There's no second wife anywhere that because he can die, and then you see 7 children just turn up and say, this is our father. That does not necessarily mean it's not there. Some can be hidden. Out of respect for you, they don't bring it to the fore. Those ones who are younger now, who feel, I can take care of both of you, what's the heck? They will bring it to your face, So you need to start, in a way, protect yourself, be financially independent. Peradventure, anything happens and you have to find your way. And also, let's begin to, I like the point she highlighted, making sure that we protect the woman. Why do I have to be the one to pack out of the house? You can pack out and go stay with your side chick. You can pack out and go stay with the second wife. This house has been built in our name together. I am not living for another person. So if you want somebody else, get that person sorted somewhere else.
That's what I think the law.
Ignoring this conversation will come back to haunt us.
I think the easiest part of the conversation is accepting this woman, this other woman. That, for me, is the easiest part.
Yes.
Because I can actually close my eyes and go, okay, she had a new wife, she's in Oshodi. No problem.
Yeah.
But the real conversation is the shared resources. Yeah. The real conversation are the children. Yeah. The real conversation are the comparisons that will go on. Yeah. God forbid my own child is not so smart. God forbid this new child is this new shining star. God forbid he went to marry one half caste that looks so yellow, and my children, you're so yellow. Oh, you're so black. The comparison with family, the fact that they go together and they're there. That's the real issue. Is a traumatic experience for the wife who has toiled with you. So accepting the second wife is a small part of it. But the real other factors, that's what makes the problem. That's why we must make sure that these men pay for it. Money is not everything, but there's got to be, that's cost them something.
So even after they pay, we cannot run away from comparisons. Even in your workplace, you compare from time to time. Oh, this person is now doing better than that person. That person is doing better. It's part of life. It's part of what will come. You're going to be raising children. Everybody is going to be comparing. So that is normal. Whether they compare in the house, they compare outside.
Say, she only has girls. You're going to bring one boy.
That is normal. For me, that is not the crux of the issue. The crux of the issue is, how do we begin to accept that this is the new reality and walk away around it?
It's not a new reality.
I think sorry, Miriam, I just wanted to answer Obiajulu. I think accepting will at least free your mind.
Yes, I agree.
So I think when women protect themselves, we don't do prenups here. Do prenup. Protect yourself. So that, because of this reality.
Okay.
This is new reality, old reality.
It's the same thing. It's evolving.
So that's what I was going to
say. So when you know that one, when you know that one, you will protect yourself.
Okay.
I am not under no illusions. I am under no illusions.
Yes.
Can I accept it or not?
Good. Exactly. We all should be under no illusions. Anything can happen.
So the conversation right now is, I know we're saying protect yourself. Sadly, you cannot protect yourself. You need the law to be able to protect you. You need legal backing. Because we know how what our tradition is. You will go to the family members. They will sit you down and tell you, that is your new life. You have to accept it. Even your own father that you have come before him. He has 2 wives. He has 3 wives. So what our mothers have tried to do for us to this point is, okay, make sure you're putting some resources aside so that if this new family comes in and it's sort of affecting your resources, you have something that you can lean on. But we need more than that. So talking to the women leaders, the women at the National Assembly, we need things like prenups.
Yes.
We need those sort of agreements. We need a point that where there's a divorce, especially when it is shown that the man has broken the vow or the woman has broken the vow, that we can go our separate ways 50-50 after I've put in so much time inside that marriage.
So let's start the hashtag. We need a prenuptial agreement. Yes. Let me take a call from Frank, Nasarawa State. Good morning, Frank. Are you there?
Hello. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, actually, I want to make a contribution based on the issue of man being polygamous.
Sorry?
The contribution of man being polygamous.
Yes, yes. Go ahead, please. You're live.
You see, we are confusing so many things and bringing man doctrine into human's mind, which is very, very wrong. We are bringing in man doctrine. What man comes up with, we bring it to mandate. We get to understand that there are 2 things in life. The traditional in life, and then there is a Christian way or Islam way in life. So whoever that wants to get married should know where he's coming from. There's a root where you are coming from, and that's where you are going to bear fruit. So if a man decides to marry a woman, I believe he strongly loves the woman. If he loves the woman, and the woman should ask herself questions. What are the reasons why he loves me? Don't just look at love as a platform on the top of the water. Love should be an in-depth thing to see the depth of the thing. For most women today, most, not all, most of them mislead themselves. They will fall in love at the platform of the top of the water, and tomorrow, something else happens. They start laying courses and start laying claims on the man because it's not doing your proper homework before you not start marrying that man. You don't just fall into a man because maybe the man is rich, a man is poor, a man is tall, a man is short. That are not the criteria. The basic criteria, we need to look and diagnose yourself and look at the indices of those criteria before you now say, this is what I want. My parents married for 55 years. 55 good years. And immediately my father died. My mother said, sorry, children, I have to go. I can't stand anymore because why? I have no...
Sorry? So his mother left after...
He cut.
Oh, we lost. I really wanted to hear that part. I'm so sorry, Mr. Frank. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll take more calls. I will take some tweets. I'm sure we have quite a few. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So joining our conversation is the king of comedy we all know as Alibaba in the building. Good to have you.
Thank you very much.
So before you came in, we were talking about Yul Edochie, you know how he just threw this matter on us. And BC was saying that, you know, we must face the reality that polygamy is here. And the fact that we must just accept this, the possibility that many men are likely to go into this. And the angle Nibera came from was the fact that, listen, I think it was Waki that was saying, we have to get a prenuptial agreement because she was saying that even if you're going to go into it, if you've invested 17 years, it shouldn't be for free. You got to pay for it. You got to sacrifice something because abroad, when you go out of that contract called marriage, there is a consequence for that action. And we should find a way to see how we can push and ensure that there's a prenuptial agreement that we sign. So even if he goes, you know you're protected. What are your thoughts on this issue of polygamy? Has it come to stay? Should women, because Waki make an interesting statement, said, we are under no illusions. We should be under no illusions. That, listen, there's a possibility that our men can go and bring a
real.
Because one thing that we don't
can't even say the word.
Because one will be saying, women, no, women must stick together. But it's a woman that will come, even if she's your friend, will come and meet your husband because she fancies your husband and she will go out with your husband.
Absolutely.
And so...
she'll flirt with your husband.
She will do
women supporting women.
To the house.
You're happy to support.
The two of you will be sitting down.
YK.
And hands are under the table. YK some point.
YK, don't suffer so much. Let's say don't suffer.
Okay, so my position is really that monogamy is a detour for African understanding.
A detour.
It's a detour. It's not our story.
Thank you.
It's not. It wasn't our story. It's just like Western education. It wasn't our story. We imbibed it because of the missionaries that came.
Yeah.
If it were the Arabs that came through the Niger Delta and not the missionaries that came through, we probably have taken on Arabic culture. Yeah, sure. And if the missionaries had come from Egypt down to the north, a lot of them would have been Muslims. So there would have been Christians. So it is what we got acclimatized to, and then we adapted it. It is not African. Though you had back then Africans who decided that they will have one wife. They had not met Christianity, they had not met Islam, but they decided they will have one wife because of what they can contain.
Their sanity.
Okay. And then you also understand that polygamy back in the days started because of several reasons. One was the fact that there was need to do farming. There was need to have many people that have hands that work in the place. Then there was another to procreate and grow a tribe. Because what happens is, a man leaves, so one man will just leave from Kogi and move to like Ife and start a family, and he's just him and 4 other women. And when he gets there, he'll meet them. Don't forget that back then, men go to war. And when they go to war, they die in war. And then you then have like 6, 7 women who are around, don't have the men that will take care of them. So polygamy then took care of all of that. It's either that or you then have the women being a stress to other married men in the community. Yeah. So, and that was the same reason which informed what the prophet did, peace be on his name, when he said, you should take on all those women and make sure that they are okay so nobody sees them and disrespects them. So polygamy in African setting is a tradition and is something that is a culture that we detoured from to embrace the Western this in practice. So it is not also bad. But if you then go into Christianity proper, it didn't frown at polygamy. It didn't frown at polygamy. There was somebody who went to get one wife, and that was not the kind of wife that he wanted, and he got the second one, 2 sisters.
Change them, yes.
So if it could be allowed at that time for even 2 sisters, then it could be it could be allowed for even different people.
What are we saying, Governor?
A sister betrayed.
What are we saying in summary?
In summary, it is that in African setting, polygamy is not wrong.
So Yul Edochie right now is okay. He's fine that he brought it.
Okay, let me. Now that you're talking about Yul Edochie, what do you want him to do? Do you prefer baby mama to wife?
I prefer that he respects the first wife and then takes her permission. Say, okay, so you've strayed. A lot of men can stray. Out of respect for these 17 years and these amazing children we have put together.
Okay.
Respectfully, I'm not going to put this new family of mine out in the open to the world and display them. Say, hey, look at my new beautiful baby. No, because of you.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you know the relationship Yul Edochie and his wife has?
No. I don't know, but based on her response to him saying that God will judge the two of you, I'm assuming.
Now, do you know that that speaks a lot of volumes?
Yes.
About her, right?
About her and the man.
Whoa.
About their relationship.
I mean, what speaks even more volume for me is the fact that he has a woman outside his marriage that he has had a child with. Because if we're saying that if what you're insinuating is that there may be issues at home, then do it properly.
Okay, now...
Don't go out and then put something on the side.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
how it's done.
I find that men...
Okay, so, no, but wait now, for you, it looks like he put it on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know if it has been something that
He never put
he didn't put on the side?
Okay.
We don't have that detail.
Yes.
We don't have those details. So it may be that they were like keeping it and saying, no problem, don't get it into the press. Or
okay, what of flaunting it on social media? Is that right?
The baby,
Some people have alleged...
with all due respect, that baby is not a newborn baby. That baby has been born a while.
Yeah.
The baby I saw.
But some people have alleged that some
I just wanted
blogger wanted to... Some people allege that some blogger wanted to put the story out.
And he quickly...
And so he stood in front of that story.
It's a blogging element. You have to throw anything to drive traffic.
Yes.
You know, some bloggers, if they don't have this kind of stories, they push a story out, they get 4 views, 10 views.
Yes.
Yes.
So when they get a story, even if it's from another blog,
yes,
they'll push it
traction
on and get about like 6, 7 views. Because if you put some 10 blogs together, they won't have 100 views.
My question I would like to ask you, I know things like this happen, is what then happens to wife one? If she were your sister, a family member, what sort of advice would you give her at this point?
Most times when this kind of things happen, it's like she said, it's the relationship that the person and his wife has had over time. Sometimes, back in the days, I know of women who have said, because of this work that I'm doing, I don't have that time to fulfill my wifely duties. They will marry a girl and give to the man. Back in the days, even not too long ago, we heard of a politician whose husband was like, you are getting into this politics too much. I don't see you all the time. And she was okay. And he got a young undergraduate that he married and could fulfill all those needs. Big time politician. But the caveat was that you don't flaunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't flaunt her ability to respect me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, to the point, it's that things like this happen, but it is the family. It is the family and the orientation that people have. If Yul Edochie was Muslim, would this be an issue?
Not at all.
No, of course not.
So, are you now saying that if it happened in a Muslim family, it's a problem?
No, it may be an issue. It will not be an issue for us, but we don't know for the woman in the house, because the fact that it's acceptable does not always mean that it's easy to swallow.
Yeah.
No.
I come from a Muslim background. I know that it's not easy for a first wife to accept the second wife. No matter how normalized it is in the religion, you're still
even the second wife will not accept the third wife.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not about accepting. That's even for me, I said earlier, it's the easiest part. To accept the second wife is even the easiest part. It's the fact that when we start having children, the comparisons, the fact that your resources are now shared. So before you could afford a really expensive private school for my child, but now that her child is involved...
That is speaking from a point. What if the person that is coming can take care of you and the family? Is that an issue?
Help your case safe.
Is that an issue? So let it just be. We're talking about the realities and the circumstances that lead to those realities.
Let me tell you a funny story. My father had 27 wives, and one woman came from Trinidad because she had heard of fella, so she wanted to be 28. And she loved him.
Are you for real?
But when she came quietly, and she didn't do as if just I'm coming. So the wives were nice to her.
She came as an investigator, journalist. I know the story.
By the time she did like this to fella, and they beat.
The 27 wives.
The 27 wives.
Even one extra, even though they're 27.
Now back to Trinidad. I'm not joking. No. So I agree that it's difficult to accept
a new one.
But it is, what we are saying is it's reality. Let us face it and know how to deal with it.
Yeah. Let me ask this question.
I'll let you ask your question right after the break, because we're supposed to go into parenting, but I'll see if we can squeeze it in.
Today.
Stay with us to bright back.
It's parenting that brought me on.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this issue of polygamy. Yes, Spissy had a question.
Yes, so I see that one of the problems we have when it comes to polygamy is that a lot of women are put under marriage pressure. You must be married. That is how you can attain a certain status as a woman. That's the only way you can be treated right. That's the only way you can be respected. And so a lot of people who are successful, who would have stayed on their own and do right, would decide to just find a man and just answer that man's name. How do we begin to raise the society in such a way that it's okay? Even if a man doesn't come, you are a human being and you'll be treated that way. Maybe that may help us reduce this issue of people taking people's husbands.
Okay, so the thing is that we've moved from that society that you're talking about to a different society. Things don't happen like it used to be anymore. The understanding that informed that you must find a man, it's back in the days.
The pressure is still on.
No, the pressure is not as on as it used to be back then.
It's reducing.
It's the same thing. Back then, you have like a son and 4 daughters, and they're sharing plots of land. They give 1 plot of land to a family that has 1 son and 5 ladies. So we get only 1 plot of land. I'm the first son of my father, and it's a royal family. And in that family, my dad was the only child that his father had. His father was the only child that he had. So what happens is that with the generation going on, it then gets to a point the man now says, I'm the only one. So he now marries many wives so that he can have many more children, so that he has many more farms and many more privileges in the family. So most times, when you then tell a woman that, so when you are faced with an option of training 2 women or training 1 son, you choose the son, because the belief is the women will go out, get married, and not be members of the family again. There are families of ethnic tribes, ethnicity that approve that when the wife is married, she doesn't come back. Yeah. Yes. They bury her there as well.
Yes.
But there are some that say, even if she dies, you bring her home. Yes. If you say you won't marry again, you bring her home. There are some families who don't even want her to come back. And so when it's time, so to answer that question, that pressure of a woman must be married to be respected, it's far gone. It's far gone. There are women who have achieved a lot. In fact, there are women, what are we talking about? When you get into an exam hall and they give you question papers, do they say women answer 3 questions, men answer 6? Of course not. In an exam hall, the question paper is
and the
given
woman
to
always passes the man.
Exactly. When we were in school, command secondary school, there was a bimbo that was trashing all of us. 1st position, 2nd position, 3rd position. Where girls
on the streets.
Yes, oh yes, we will remember those kind of people because they humble us. Because when your parents then say who took first, you now want to give the person a man's name. So that they don't have you. Because some other time you're watching TV and you say, oh, this person will do this. They say, when is this on? Your mouth is sharp. So when is school bimbo?
Right, I can't let you leave this table without talking about parenting, because we actually brought you in for the topic on parenting, but we didn't know that this Yul Edochie matter was going to take this long. But we're still probably going to bring you back for a deeper conversation. But parenting these days is getting more and more challenging. You know, recently we had so many topics on how children are just going somewhat wayward, and we're thinking, where are we losing it?
Phones.
Fathers are sometimes, I know yesterday we had somebody who was saying that we need more fathers involved. Women are also saying that, listen, they need help. There are a lot of single mothers out there, so they need support. What do we do? How do we help these children in the African way, since that's where we are?
Okay, so one thing is, I'll just use an example that happened in my house 3 years ago, 4 years ago. My kids were back home during the summer holiday, one of those short holidays, and the boys did something, and I screamed from upstairs, what nonsense, come upstairs now, come upstairs. And my dad came out and said, why are you shouting on this? Talk to them. I said, hey? You? You. My dad was a military man. Do you know that belt that military people have that have metal, this and like that?
Don't tell me.
Beat you with it, what are you talking about? And when he's counting and you can't remember, he will start the counting again.
Wow.
He's the one telling me that I should talk to them, and I'm just shouting up and down.
Hi.
So I said, Daddy, did you hear yourself? He said, am I the one you are talking to like that?
Yeah, so you want to bring that out again.
Yeah, so it is that parenting had changed. Back then, parenting was with the elements. Now, then the only thing that was social media then was pen pal. Okay. Pen pal was the only social media that we had. You write a letter to somebody who is in Kuwait, or somebody who is in Cairo or any of all those places. You don't get a response because NIPOS was even slow then. You don't get a response till like when you are in class 4, something you wrote in 1. And then you get a response in this, and the person then says, oh, I got your mail, I replied. When you check, the letter got to you 6 months ago, but they didn't deliver to your school because the postal service was poor at the time. So parenting has changed. The elements that even make parenting hard also have changed. Back then, you had parents everywhere on the street. I could do something. Before I get home, I could get trashed by parents who were from Langtang, parents who were Cross River, parents who were from Gongola State at the time. They didn't have to even be my real parents. Yes. And they controlled you. But now, parenting is now, it's not different. Back then, you had one person in the house at least, who is the mother, who then says, when your dad comes, you will see what he will do. And the dad will come and lay his mighty hands on the issue. And so anytime your mom says, I will tell your dad, you have fear. But these days, both parents are on the field working. Yes. And so most times, the parenting, and even the foundational parenting, is now left for either TV or nannies. We had a program then called Tales by Moonlight. Yes. That used to teach children on respect, values, honesty, and all of that. We don't have it anymore because what now teaches children is Cartoon Network. So the orientation is different. And the orientation is that you could talk to your elders anytime, anyhow. You can call their names even. Back then, it should be somebody that told Wole Soyinka to get up from his chair. And then people went, oh, it's okay. Don't forget the story about, so you then have, but you still have those kind of people in the society who correct people. Remember the story of Queen's College, when the gate man said, you can't take this kind of hair into school. Your makeup, your lashes and all of that, you can't take it into school. We don't allow that. And stopped the girl and told her to go back. She went home, told the mother, and the mother came to fight. The same people now are saying, I asked one of the ladies, I said, was it not you that was saying what concerns the man? At the gate for correcting that child. Now, you are one of those people, because I've been waiting for the time that I'll point it to her. You are one of those people now that is telling the school, why didn't they do anything about so and so? Go and check your, she now said, oh, well, the circumstances are different. How is that different? So what it means is that we sometimes just tolerate some things if it doesn't affect us. Then when it's sometime, we then put our cap of activism and make it look like, it's like somebody say, oh, let's go to Old Testament and take a few things out of there. When it's tight, we take that and say, God said we should tithe.
But enforce it. In this issue of parent, go ahead.
Yes. So, you have mentioned that times have changed, and the new reality is parents need to work.
Yeah.
Else, hunger will wire, not just them, but the entire household.
Okay.
Is it still possible to raise good children even when you're not there all the time? Are there things that are there systems you can put in place that helps you raise them? So you come once in a while that you can afford to, but then you're raising your children well. Is it possible?
Yes, it is. It's possible. There are families that have ingrained communication across board. The mother can ask the daughter something, the daughter will tell the mom this, another person will tell. So the communication chain is open. There's no hindrance, there's no fear. So if something happens, you come home and say, Mom, so-and-so person wants us to go out this weekend. And they will say, tell him to come to the house. And the person will still come to the house. Even if it's your girlfriend that says 2 of you should go to one eatery, they will still come to the house and ask permission. Okay? But these days, you have a situation where a lot of things are permitted. We're now in a permissive society. You even have people who open... Like my daughter has an Instagram page.
How old is she?
She's 13. And so, wait. And we opened the Instagram page for her because she's a writer. Okay. Which is different. It's not for her to go there and post her pictures. And so if you go to that page, you see potpourri of tales, the book. And so people can relate with it. That's all. It is not for her to put a picture of her birthday, put a picture of her day.
But what if she, what if she goes to the Instagram page? Now that she's able to open an Instagram page, she can go and open another one without your knowledge and use that one that you don't know about to start posting pictures.
That's the other thing with Instagram posts. You don't like yourself by yourself. When you post something, 1, 2, 3 people would like it. Except it's private.
She could do that.
Okay, if she does that, then there's something, it means that she's aware of not letting people into her space.
Right.
Do you understand?
It's her parents that she doesn't.
No.
I know somebody. I know somebody who she posts the most outrageous things. Sorry about the English. Things, and I went to try and go into the page. Blocked. Her mother blocked. Everybody blocked. But her friends
have
and the people that she wants to see.
So what happens is that those friends would let it come out one day.
Yes.
It comes out. Yeah.
It comes out one day. Okay, so there's another person. You know, this girl is about. I posted it. It was on Instagram. She's about like 16, 17. And she had all her mammary glands outside.
Ew.
You could see the black around her nipples.
Whoa.
But the nipples were not showing, but you could nearly see the black around it. And then she posted something, and I looked at it, and I blocked her. And then she sent a message and said, she can't see me anymore. Why? And I said, don't know that the things you post, you know, it shows on my timeline. Yeah. Anytime you post anything, it shows on my timeline. And I blocked her. She saw her mom. Okay, the mom saw us at the hotel. We were having breakfast. She came and said, my daughter said you blocked her. I said, yeah, she was posting so and so. He said, Yes. You know, now she's about 21 or 22 now. And I said, oh, really, sir? So I went and blocked the mother too. I blocked the mother. So the mother called. The mother now said, oh, all those your posts and write-ups, I can't see them anymore. I said, I blocked you. She said, why? I said, because you encourage those kind of things so that she doesn't post something and then you repost it and it will show up on my timeline because since you don't have filters.
Or your daughter sees it.
Yes. And my children will sometimes call me and say, Daddy, that thing you posted, you know, I posted something about homosexuals one time. And he said, Daddy, take that thing off your page. And I was like, why? He said, because, you know, you may be wanting to work with foreign agencies. When they see all these, they say, so these people limit our expression of ourselves.
We have to wrap up. Yes, you have to. Let me let you find a question.
Find out that, see, social media is real.
Sure. It's here.
It's here. It's real. It's part of their growing up. We will do our best to stop them, but they will find ways. The way we're able to find ways to circumvent our parents' parenting, they would find ways. I just want to know what I can teach my child offline that would make that child a more responsible social media user when the time comes.
Make more responsible choices.
I think the best way is still by example. Best way is still by example, or exposing them to other good examples. When a child does well, back then, comparison was the way that our parents would raise us. We'll see your mates.
Coaches to say it's not good to do. Don't compare yourself.
Don't mind them. Those same coaches will come and tell you, live like you want to. So how do you want to? Is it not looking at somebody's standard to?
No. Comparison in the negative way. Don't give us a bad name now. When you pitch them against each other, so you can have positive comparison. So the comparison about this is where you are today. You have to do better.
Inspirational.
Than this. You have to do better than yourself tomorrow. You have to keep doing better.
How our parents
used to compare.
Do you know how many people were damaged with those comparisons? How many people started doing wrongs because their parents were comparing them? So you just pick. So with every concept, you pick the positives of it and arrange it in such a way that it suits your child. For some children, comparison is okay. It spurs them to do more. But you have to understand if it's okay for your child.
Parents back then always wanted the best.
Yes.
And the reason that my dad told me was that the reason they wanted the best for you is so that you don't become their responsibility when they retire.
I have to wrap up, but there was a question I wanted to ask you, but I don't know if I have time. This beating thing. You men went through it, and we listen to coaches. We're learning. We want to listen to praise for. We want to listen to all these parental coaches. I know how to, but men, for some reason, because they beat you so bad, you think you must beat these children. Like it's like beating must happen.
I say my dad that used to beat me said I shouldn't beat.
That's what I'm saying. So I really want you. I would like you to come back on the show and talk about this discipline that we do with children.
No, discipline may not be physical.
Yeah.
Discipline may be cutting some benefit.
Yeah.
Back then, they say you're not going to a papa club.
Yes.
And it's a big thing. Or they even threaten you 7 months away. Christmas, you are not getting new clothes.
Yes, so you will nearly die.
That can work at a certain age.
Yes, but no, it works at a certain age up to... When you say certain age, for us till age 9, 10, Christmas was a big deal. Your birthday is a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Just so that the tray of rice is there, like 10 spoons and cabin biscuit here and the drinks, and then you now hold the main spoon. Because there was no cake then.
We have to wrap up. Thank you so much, Alibaba. As I said, we brought you in for parenting, but we'll still have to bring you back because there's so many questions we have. You know, yes, we are learning, but we also know that we need support. We need our partners to support us. And many of us have different upbringings and different exposures. So training this child is always difficult because we are from two different worlds. So I would like you to come and say, how do two different people come together?
Which is why somebody who is intelligent and has the genes of being intellectual should not marry Olodo.
Hey!
It's important, yes. Because the thing is that if she's the one at home with the child, who will do the homework?
They will outsource it.
And the next time you come, the next time you come, 1 hour polygamy, second hour parenting.
We finished polygamy today.
No, we have not finished it.
Yeah, we're done.
We have not finished it.
We'll have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.